OK, mate, I'm pleased to say that our new parts have come through without any issue, so they'll be on the car, ready for the next race weekend.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us, and the track action will be getting underway very shortly. I've got Anthony Davidson, Naomi Schiff alongside me. Before we focus on that, Naomi, I'd just like us to consider some of these big rumours that are circulating at the moment about driver moves up and down the paddock. Just how distracting is it to focus on putting in strong performances at the same time as negotiating a future?
Well, it can be a really big distraction, particularly for the drivers who are out of contract at the moment. And for them, it's going to be the challenge of managing what they're doing off track and compartmentalizing that from what happens on track, because we know that this next decision in their career is going to be a big one. So that can put a lot of pressure on your shoulders, but you don't want that to put so much pressure on your shoulders that you start overdriving, making mistakes, because you know in this sport, you can go from hero to zero in an instant.
I mean, you know, easier said than done, Ant. And as we pass by a driver now who's considering their future, even if you've got a contract, they're not necessarily even worth the paper they're written on. You've got to keep putting in really big, impressive performances.
It's an industry that demands perfection from not just the team, but the drivers as well, first and foremost. So if you start to relax in any way, even if you have a multi-year deal in place, like you say, not worth the paper it's written on, because you can be kicked out before you know it. If the performances start to slip, the team will have their eye on you straight away and you'll be out the door.
So no room for complacency. Let's see who can put in some big performances on track today. All the action up next. Don't go anywhere.
High-speed straights, heady elevation changes and dramatic corners. What is there not to love about today? It's qualifying day here at Spa-Francorchamps.
OK, let's have a comms check, please. Radio check.
Yes, radio's okay.
They're in 20th place. We've been pushed down to P17.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend. So we'll see you all tomorrow.
That's P13. Okay, we've only got one lap of fuel remaining.
What the hell is going on with my rear? that? So I am. I am so. That's all I am.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? Spa-Francorchamps today, a circuit that spans 4.35 miles. There are tons of elevation changes along the way too. 19 corners making up this circuit, with 9 of those to the right and the remaining 10 to the left. This track's a great one for fans of pure speed, and the average lap speed comes close to a whopping 145 miles per hour. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Verstappen, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Fernando Alonso, Antonelli, Albon, Gasly, and Ollie Behrman, Leclerc, Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon, and Stroll, Hülkenberg, Bortoletto, Carlos Sainz, and Cali Meyer, Jackson, Hadjar, Colapinto, and Liam Lawson rounds off the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. Now, you're the racing driver in this partnership, so tell us about this racing driver. Put us in their shoes. How are they going to be feeling?
Well, you've got to be prepared, Crofty. Before you even step foot inside the car, you've got to know, you've got to have a pre-race game plan. You've watched videos before you get into the car of previous races gone by. You know where you have to place your car if X, Y, or Z happens in front of you or behind you. So having this clear game plan is absolutely essential before you get in the car.
All right, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check.
Yep, check okay.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. We might see some rain. ETA about 15 minutes. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment. Expect to see some rain about 10 to 15 minutes from now. Okay, incredible parking there, nice one. That's going to give you the edge if you can get good launch as the race starts. So we're expecting rain in about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now. Forecast in just over 10 minutes time. Rain in 10 minutes. The dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment. Now use DRS. DRS now available. Okay, good work. Great pass. Gap to your teammate ahead, 2.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in fourth. Time last lap, 1 minute, 52.8. Okay, you're in the dirty air of the car in front. Let's get past them. Replacing if it takes
Nelly,
Fuck me, man.
who has to
rainfall expected. 5 minutes until rain. You've got P7, 7th place. Our gap to first place, 5.4 seconds. Alonso's ahead of you. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 1.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Okay, Antonelli behind. Less than a second separates you. They're on old mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. All right, 6 laps to go now. Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. Systems all looking good, head down. Okay, take it easy on the car, we can't sustain this level of damage. Watch the conditions, we think there's rain coming pretty soon, be careful. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now. Lewis is ahead of you, and the time last lap, 1:48.7. Okay, the gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. Right, you're closing in by around 1.4 seconds a lap. 20 minutes of light rain. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap. And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Today on pace, that's what we could have done. So, thank you.
So that wraps up the sprint race, but there's still more action yet to come this weekend. We've got qualifying and, of course, the Grand Prix.